The question indeed. Sekhukhune United stunned the Sea Robbers once before when this all began in August. With another inspired victory, a spanner will be thrown into what is shaping up to be a title race. Orlando Pirates touched silverware when they last traveled here.
2024, the entire world's military.
The dream has always been to rule this land again, end the Sundowns dynasty, and win this league for the first time in over a decade. But before then, there are a number of things that need to fall into place. As for the men, dressed in all red, Babina Noko found some form before the AFCON festive season. But on Tuesday night, their return to this league was stained by Stellenbosch. A team back in the hunt, if you know what I mean. Changes to the starting 11 are always in order after a defeat, and Eric Tinkler has made 3. Makhawa, Maliva and Diomande, one of the 3 new signings, make room for Mkhize in the midfield, Ramala on the left, and Mojela is awarded his first start in Sekhukhune stripes. Lebogang Phiri, the other new signing, returning to South Africa, starts on the bench. My name is Ray. It's a pleasure to be with you. As always, to my right-hand side is, of course, Taysom Gidi this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Ray. Asithokoze kwamambala ngizo zonke indawo la kufikelela khona zemidlalo ku-SABC. Sizokunikela lapha ke umdlalo ke omuhle khulu kwamambala okusuka ePieter Stadium. Sekhukhune United Babina Noko nayo lapha ke i-Orlando Pirates. Umbuzo ujamile. Isikhama seSekhukhune United bangakubuyelela lokho nafana bunjani. Orlando Pirates Sipho Chain emapaleni siyabona ke bonyana ke lapha phambili bano evidence emakhupha nelapha ke uTsepang Muremi sona lapha isikhama seOrlando Pirates kanti ke nokho ke uSofengwana uYuchune Mdluli nelapha ke uRamutsindela yena lapha ke uKamukhelo bana yelapha ke uLubabalo Peter yibo ke abasiphathele ke umdlalo kanti ke i-fourth official welapha ke uOlani Kwenda, Mesh Commissioner Abdul Eric Tindler, sikhuluma lapha ke ngebafana bafana yango 1996 nasikhuluma lapha ke ngo-Eric Tindler lihloko lomujela kusuka lapha ke esiqhemeni esayo lapha ke eStellenbosch unegondelo linye alibethe lapha ke esiqhemeni seStellenbosch namhlanje sike ula kuSekhukhune United Babina Noko ezimnyama ngenkani Orlando Pirates nayo lapha ke iSekhukhune United bathe khuphuka mzomnyama since 1937 ezimnyama ngenkani nelapha ke Sekhukhune United Babina Noko kuba khona ke umzuzu wokuthula i-moment of silence. Lapha ke bekunomzuzu ke wokuthula ke ukuhlonipha lapha ke iMilford FC ngokuthiwa lapha ke ngwelapha ke umlibo kanti ke nokho ke sithi ke umoya wakhe awulale ngokuthula. Eric Tinkler wadlala esiqhemeni salapha ke Wits University banabo lapha ke abo Steve Barker nabo Peter Gordon kanti ke nangu yena lapha ke umbanduli Owandu Abdel Salama manje ke sacho sithi ke ujamile umbuzo ngemva kokuthi ke i-lost inqhema ese-Orlando Pirates balobe lapha ke imidlalo ke embili umdlalo abawulobako bahlulwe iSekhukhune United emidlalweni we-league bahlulwa nayo lapha ke Marumo Gallants yena lapha ke u-Owado namhlanje se-Peter Stadium basekuvakatsheni amaPhakaniya the Coast ezimnyama ngenkani the Sea Robbers nayo lapha ke iSekhukhune United angikhambi ngedwa ngikhamba lapha ke Raykhona sokuraka ke umdlalo awuzowuthola kuhle khulu kwamambala ahlezi banzinzile libalele liyachisa nangu evidence mahupha no Captain Daniel Cardoso. Back to you, Ray.
Thanks a plenty, Tace. It's good to be with you. It's good to be with you wherever you are for the local drama, the bread and butter. Will Orlando Pirates pick up where they left off? Will Sekhukhune United get back on track? Will it be repeat or revenge? Plenty of questions, so do stay tuned to find out all the answers this afternoon.
Nice little trip up from Joburg this morning in lovely weather conditions. Pitch looks in perfect nick, as one would expect. We expect as well for Sekhukhune United to be a little on the physical side, maybe. Nice little touch in there from Kamelo Sibilibili, the former Teaks Galaxy right winger. Touchback as well to Dino van Rooyen, who only plays for the third time. All of a sudden, space open on the left-hand side for Pirates. It needed some defending. And that challenge took place just on the edge of the penalty area of Babino Noko.
Yep, and this is what we're definitely going to be expecting from an Orlando Pirates team, really bypassing that midfield. A long diagonal pass to locate Moremi. It's all about speed, key battles, especially in those wide areas, to dominate the ball position.
Wasn't actually a free kick. It was given by the match referee, Mr. Mkluli, but the resultant corner. Ball pinged into the penalty area, needs a spot of defending, does rather well though. And Sekhukhune United, with everybody behind the halfway line, playing it cautious. No way through for Vuyole Tlapa, former Cosmos player on the left-hand side of defence. But I tell you what, he's performed so well this season. This is his 15th appearance in the campaign. Only once he's played off the bench so far this season has Vuyole Tlapa. Patrick Maswangani, Sibilibili, Dino van Rooyen, unmistakable with his blonde hair. Little feeder through the middle by Talentum Bata, former SuperSport United player, and doing very nicely at Orlando Pirates as well. Possession might very well be the key here today. Utilisation thereof. Forward by Nkosi Ntaba, former Richards Bay FC Junior, playing only in the starting lineup for the 4th time this season. But yeah, they've had to rejig the defence, and the introduction of Sibisi in the centre of defence with Laboni Siema in the absence of Mbukazi. Oh, unbelievable ball that left-hand side is already paying dividends for Orlando Pirates. Ronaldo Lina, you said, would be a busy man this afternoon, Amanda.
Yeah, I mean, as expected, Orlando Pirates are one of the most exciting teams in the league to watch. They make those box entries very threatening when they go on the attack. But certainly his defense, the likes of Cardoso, need to step it up.
Captain of the day, former Lamontville Golden Arrows centre-back, 30-year-old Kusanati Sipisi. Only his 5th start for Orlando Pirates. And once again, that ball down the left-hand side, and pressure having to be brought to bear by Brighton Glovu. Defensively, Moremi, 3 times in a row now, has provided the threat.
Yep. And this time around, he cuts in a little bit inside to allow that overlapping ball to come through, overlapping player to come through, Ndaba. And this is the overload they're going to try and create on the wide areas to really isolate and make it a 2v1 situation.
Already 2 corners for Orlando Pirates. A little bit of a run from Lebona Siema. They'll have a throw-in now. And Sekhukhune United thought the early danger. Easy pickings for the 27-year-old Cape Town-born Ronaldo Lina. Had a spell at Ajax Cape Town and then at Maritzburg United as well. And in the picture is Morgella, and just as Dino van Rooyen has blonde hair in the number 21 jersey, so does Morgella in the 21 jersey for Sekhukhune United, adorned with these blonde locks. Lovely ball played through here to Maswangani, who loses the plot a little under pressure from Ndlovu. Good interception in the middle of the park. Pirates starting on fire here. Need to hold on to possession maybe a little better. This is Mube, one of two players on yellow cards for Sekhukhune United. The other is Bradley Krobler, the man who just knocked the ball out of play. It almost looks like a handball from a man who turns 38 tomorrow. 38 years old, and he's still banging in goals as if his life depends on it. Good grief.
Yeah, and I think he's been brilliant, especially in those returns.
Phenomenal this season.
Yeah, 6 goals this season, just behind Dion. I think he's just maturing like fine wine.
In total for Krobler. Reyna's also with 9 goals, but that's in league and cup. Scored in every competition so far is Bradley Krobler. The threat continues off the left-hand side. It's going to be fascinating for me, though, to see if Orlando Pirates, or if maybe when they switch over to the right-hand side, because they just seem to be psychologically sucking Sekhukhune United over to Pirates' left-hand side. And an opportunity for a shot on goal. But you've got to test the keeper from that situation.
Have to test the keeper. Sibilebele force him into making a save. But what has been impressive about Orlando Pirates in these early stages is just the mobility in and around the box. There's a third man running. There's always options in and around that box. Sibilebele just throwing this one over the bar.
You heard Eric Tinkler when he was chatting to Wazi Zitrubu before the match got underway. They have to be disciplined defensively. Well, they've been tested. We've only had 6.5 minutes, and already the defense has been really tested. Mojela. Good spot of defending from a man who makes his first start this season in the Betway Premiership, Makakleni Makaula. Incredible that he's only played twice off the bench so far for Orlando Pirates as the 36-year-old former Mazulu player. Started his career at Free State Stars, Elakoto, don't forget. Long since not part of the professional ranks in South African football, with the Mokwenas having done such a fabulous job in Bethlehem. Keswick Stars taking over those ranks in the Motsepe Foundation Championship, doing rather nicely as well. And Buxton Tompeni. I must say that Sekhukhune United getting themselves in trouble because they're giving the ball away rather cheaply, and that's his own goal territory. Not that it was, but the threat was there, going in backward, sort of reverse gear.
Yeah, I think two things that Coach Eric Tinkler highlighted is to make sure they're defensively disciplined, but also to minimize the mistakes, because they have just been giving away too much ball position and making mistakes that are quite costly. So this is also a sign for them to improve. They played an extra game, started ahead of Orlando Pirates, and they should be rectifying those sort of mistakes.
Already in the third corner of the match for Orlando Pirates. We're not even 8 minutes into the game just yet, and easy header away from the danger zone. Not really much fortitude over the halfway line either from Orlando Pirates, from Sekhukhune United. Really is going to be interesting to see how they come into play, and they're allowing Orlando Pirates.
Season hasn't really been much effective, but it also just says that there are a lot more goal contributors in the squad.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And the goals from Patrick Masamangani, you've got Siema's got a goal. Yeah. You've got Moremi Sabilibili and Mahopa on the bench as well. Goals from Mofokeng, Apolis, and Butuma, Hoto. You know, if you look at amongst those bench players and the players that we mentioned, ordinarily easily in the starting lineup, and that just shows the depth that Orlando Pirates have been able to accumulate. In the meantime, Sipo Chain gets his first touch of the game. Rating his defence for the moment. So Noam Bukazi, new captain. Sibisi takes over that role. Takes over the role in the centre of defence as well. We wish Bukazi well at Chicago Fire. We wish Puzo Didejani from TX Galaxy, who's joined Bukazi at the same club and in a pre-season. Nice little flick on from Brighton Clovo, and there's pressure on the goal of Orlando Pirates. And Mojela not able to get the vital touch on it.
To make sure that you keep concentrated, especially on these half sort of opportunities. Bradley Grobler lurking, Mujela as well, trying to just add a little bit of pressure. And the Pirates just need to be mindful of that threat.
Start of the Betway Premiership campaign last year, and the start of 2026 between these two sides. Orlando Pirates will be hoping for a different result than was the case in August. I must say, they've got a heck of a record to try and protect as well. And when Islam Wadou signed from Marumo Gallants to take over the Orlando Pirates, beat Polokwane City in a MTN 8 match by 2-0, lost against Sekhukhune United and Marumo Gallants, and I'm sure the detractors would have thought, what have we got here? Since then, it's 165 days ago, Abdesalam Wadou has played 17 matches, 14 wins, 3 draws, scored 27 goals, conceded 5, just 5 in 17 matches. It's incredible.
It's really incredible, and I think a big contributing factor to that is just the discipline defensively. He quickly established a team or defensive four that really are astute in that department, but also the centre-back pairing, I think for me has been the highlights for that defensive record.
On top of that all, he's won both cup competitions that have been played this season so far.
I think it's quite impressive, especially stepping into the shoes of Ribeiro, who's almost won back-to-back victories or titles. It must have been so much more added pressure coming in and asserting yourself and really meeting the expectations of the club.
Ribeiro finishing second in the last 3 seasons in a row at least for Orlando Pirates, and I suppose the discussion would be, as Sekhukhune United run out of space on that far side, would be that for Abdesalam Wadou, who's already been massively successful, but for him to continue to be that successful and make a mark in his debut season, although he has won 2 cup competitions, he can't finish worse than second, surely, in the Premier League. So the pressure's not over. You know, of course, it would be absolutely astronomical if he won the league title for Orlando Pirates. But yeah, long time to go before we can tick those boxes. See how many supporters have come out on a Saturday afternoon. 2 matches taking place. Very important bottom of the table clash taking place in Rustenburg between Orbit College and Chipper United. We'll try and keep you posted with scores coming through from that one. Chipper United bottom of the table, and with only 1 victory. It's their worst ever start in, I don't know, 13 years that they've been in the Premier League. No goals, by the way, from Rustenburg just yet. Orbit College just above the relegation zone after their loss against Mamelodi Sundowns. Gessi sandwiched in between the two of them in the playoff position. But between Orbit College and Richards Bay FC, there's only 5 points between 14th place and 9th. So lots to play for as far as the bottom half of the table is concerned. Free kick now for Vuzimuzi Ncube. Decide to go for the left-footed option. Grobler off balance, heads wide.
It's quite interesting that both coaches highlighted some interesting aspects that they've observed. Coach Wadou did really highlight Grobler's aerial prowess and aerial threat. And there he goes again, uncontested. He jumps higher of the 2 centre-backs. And those aerial duels are very important for Orlando Pirates to win.
Last time Orlando Pirates went away from home against Sekhukhune United was the beginning of the season, 24-25. Nasser Tumbo scored for Sekhukhune United. Hotto and Makaula scored for Pirates. Makaula in the starting lineup today. Dion Hotto, the Namibian international, is on the bench. Ball knocked away by Brighton Glovu. And suddenly, just for the moment, it seems as if Sekhukhune United, having soaked up the pressure for the opening 15 minutes of the game, are now starting to find a little bit of expression closer to and maybe even over the halfway line, as they try to do now with Vuyole Tlapa.
I think it has to do with understanding that the Orlando Pirates will want to enjoy much more of the ball possession, want to control things and start on the front foot. But the tempo hasn't just been what we know. Orlando Pirates hasn't been a high-tempoed match. It could do with the heat. But of course, they've done their analysis. They're trying to match up in that midfield, bringing him Kize. That was a tactical move from Coach Eric Tinkler.
So Diski goes wide. Trying to push forward, and Moremi getting possession again, and he's able to sneak in behind that defence and wins a corner. Sekhukhune United backtracking again, and already Orlando Pirates have earned 4 set pieces in the opening 16 minutes.
Yeah, I think Moremi, almost 3 or 4 of these corners, he's been quite involved, but he keeps making the same run, trying to make the same pass as well. I think he should really try to vary his play, because he's really the one who's the live wire for Orlando Pirates at this stage.
Fascinating that the former Amazulu player gets the nod ahead of Relebohile Mofokeng. It'll be interesting to see if Mofokeng comes in, what difference he makes as far as his decision-making is concerned. Maswanganyi, chance across the penalty area, somehow cleared by Sekhukhune United. Good intervention there as well, off the line from Ndlovu, but Leboni Siema had stayed forward and kind of forced the issue for Orlando Pirates, and Lena's taken a knock. Pressure by Makaula.
Good pressure indeed, and it all starts with having to defend that first phase of play, but also Sekhukhune making sure that they win that second ball. Goalkeeper Lena has to get involved, has to take charge of that box. He knows that it's going to be flustered by Orlando Pirates attacks, and certainly does well to win that aerial duel.
Cardoso with a little look and then a turn away from the Orlando Pirates. Mojela with a knockdown. Grobler tries to knock it back. It doesn't reach the intended target of Ellis Ramala, bursting through the middle. And straight away, Moremi's back. Oh, that's not a great first touch from Maswanganyi. No damage done, though. Van Rooyen, quality player, former Stellenbosch man, and certainly not getting the sort of game time that we expected from him when he joined the Buccaneers. Siema finds Mbata. Joined SuperSport United from Highlands Park. Really has been a massive contributor to the success of the Buccaneers. Now Van Rooyen again slips over and trying to deliver, and surely that's a foul from Cardoso.
Good contest between these two. Cardoso does everything right, I think, in that moment to really marshal and shield him, and force him to play the ball out on the line, but gets too close and adjudged for a foul.
That's on the balance of play very much, and Orlando Pirates first 20 minutes. No goals yet. Domination as far as the stats are concerned. 4 corners, all the possession. Opportunities not really maybe testing Ronaldo Lena enough directly. That's a little bit better. Free kick had a little bit of venom on it. I want to make a mention of Tebogo Mokoena from Mamelodi Sundowns yesterday. Not the greatest performance, I thought, from Mamelodi Sundowns. A bit iffy here and there as far as, there's attempted success was concerned, but that goal from Mokoena was something out of the books, wasn't it?
What a stunner.
Offside against Sekhukhune United, which may be frustrating for the Sekhukhune United players. However, they are starting to test the Orlando Pirates defence, and if they're going to get caught in an offside position, it means that they're trying to force the issue, which isn't entirely a bad thing. And just to refine the little runs off the ball, or the little angled movements from the striker, particularly Mojela, who was caught offside on that occasion.
Yep, I think after the hard work that they do, the defensive organization just need an extra player to give that final pass, that decisive pass, to get the likes of Mojela. He's a willing runner. He's one of those strikers that are quite mobile. To be complemented by Bradley Grobler, who's very clinical in front of goal. You need to use them.
Grobler's last goal came in the Carling knockout loss against Le Mans for Golden Arrows. And then That was all the way back on the 4th of October. It's been a little while since he's found the back of the net, but not to say that he's not capable. He's 1 goal away from 10 in the league and cup competitions on the domestic front. Ikram Reyners also with 9 goals. Cardoso, lovely dink from him, and the ball lands beautifully in space and nearly picked up by Vusimuzi Ncube. Good player, the 32-year-old former Chip United player. Played at Cosmos as well, and in the first division with JDR Stars, who sold their status at the beginning of this current season. A couple of teams from Tshwane who sold their statuses. Pretoria Kellys, JDR Stars. Makola. BC trying to push forward as well. A bit of space available for Lebono Siema. A great first touch, but I think he did well, talented part, except there's a bit of physicality involved from the former SuperSport man. Pleading his innocence.
Yep, good physical battle between the two. A little bit frustrating for the likes of Mbata, who are not enjoying much of the space. Sekhukhune keeping things very, very compact in the mid-block, and not really giving much away.
No, like Mbata, it's a joy to watch. That pass from talented Mbata, certainly not a joy to watch. Nobody making a run, far too overcooked as well. I don't think that Moremi was going to waste any energy trying to set off after this one. Yeah, I just do love the way he plays his football, talented Mbata, and he's just grown and grown. There was every evidence that there was potential for Mbata when he played at SuperSport United, and given the opportunity to move up, just as we've seen from Sipho Mbule, just as we've seen from Tshepang Moremi, from Yanela Mbutuma, given a chance in a B team with the right sort of coaching, those players have blossomed this season.
No, they certainly have, and I mean, it's been interesting to watch their journey on Giants, and also just the brotherhood that they have. Just a team that consistently build each other up, and it's been really good to see their progress through the DDC rankings, and as well the first team to the national team.
Tshepang Munare makes a mistake, an opportunity here for Evidence Makgopa. It's good defending as he gets pushed wide by the defence of Sekhukhune United. Finally, somebody has to take a shot. That's wide from Makoula. Great opportunity, and I really do think that Orlando Pirates should have made more of it. Maybe a little cut inside earlier on with the first touch. That first touch has to be absolutely pinpoint, though, and it wasn't. Siema clears in front of Brad Krobler. Players putting up their hands to full voids at Orlando Pirates. Bukazi, one of the voids that's been left. Ellis Ramada nearly gets caught in possession. Brighton Glover to the rescue. Monare goes wide. Krobler playing wide on the left-hand side. They keep possession, though, very nicely through Ncube. Ncube gets away from Siema. This is better on an attacking point of view from Sekhukhune United, and that will be trouble for Ellis Ramala. Yeah, very late on the ball indeed, and Mbata goes down with a challenge. The referee immediately went to the pockets.
I never understand these kinds of tackles, because there's no intention to win the ball, but also once you make that sort of scissor tackle on a player, it immediately locks in the ankle, and you could twist or break something. And Yeah, I just don't understand those kinds of tackles sometimes.
The attacking players from Orlando Pirates, Evidence Makgopa, Tsepan Moremi, all having a chat with Abdisalam Wadu. So Billy in the mix there as well, Cardoso and goalkeeper Ronaldo Lina in the dugout as well of Sekhukhune United.
It's interesting to observe the body language and maybe just lip reading the frustration of the attackers from an Orlando Pirates perspective. They can't seem to be finding the pockets. They're not connecting with each other with those passes, but also the defensive conversation on the Sekhukhune bench in terms of just how far are they going, are they doing well? The likes of Mkhize coming into that midfield, closing shop, because that is the main job, to close the engine, the productive area. Maswanganyi to not get on the ball because he is the Pirates playmaker. You haven't seen Maswanganyi on the ball. So I think this is good for Sekhukhune so far.
Yeah, I'm a little bit perplexed at the amount of advice coming from a lot of different angles and a lot of different people, substitute players, support staff, coaches as well, from the bench of Sekhukhune United, as to not knowing what the advice is, but maybe there's a lot of differences in it and the confusion that might cause in players running in all different directions. But I'm sure they have an understanding, as we had a look at Eric Tinkler. And assisted these days by Andre Arendse. Nice to see Arendse. He was with SuperSport United, went down to Sibulele with that buyout from the Free State club, and then released, as was Grant Johnson, national team goalkeeper coach. And nice to see that Andre Arendse has found a home at Babina Noko. Sekhukhune United again with Ellis Ramala. They're just not able to hold on to possession long enough and make the requisite progress. Talentambata, Siema, it's a handball. I knew it straight away, so Billy. Playback underway, they're not wasting any time, or maybe they should have taken a bit more time because possession given away by Ngube. It's a great shepherding of the ball by Mbata, although the pass leaves a lot to be desired. Siema. Ball headed towards Krobla, and it's one for you, one for me at the moment. Wide by Kosikona and Daba. Solid at left back so far. I'm just looking at the way that Mbata has dropped back to assist Makaula, and that must leave Patrick Maswanganyi free to push a little bit forward in support of Sabili, Moremi and Makgopa, and I don't think that's a bad idea. He's a creative force. But Sekhukhune United are heeding the words of Eric Tinkler and defending rather nicely again. Cardoso clears in front of his goalkeeper, Ronaldo Lina. There's more work to be done for the defence, though, and the same man does the business. Cardoso, that is. All Pirates at the moment.
They're doing well to just be a little bit more patient, to trust the players to move a little bit and open those spaces.
They're just not getting those box entries. I mean, it's all very pretty from the flanks, but it's not really direct enough from a Pirates point of view.
Yeah, it's still a little bit lopsided. The left side is much more effective for Orlando Pirates. On the right side, Sibilibili haven't really been involved in much of the action at all.
Now, that's why I was surprised in the beginning, because the propensity for the left-hand side has been continuous for Sekhukhune, for Orlando Pirates. And I just thought at one stage, if they get into the psychology of Sekhukhune United and drag them across to that far side, their right-hand side of defence, and leave a lot of space open on the right, then Dino van Rooyen and Sibilibili can come and attack those spaces. It hasn't quite worked yet.
I think it's quite interesting because when they don't have the ball, they really want to push up the wing backs And the likes of maybe Mukhaila will try and tuck in a little bit. Litapa will go up. It also helps. And I think it just pins the likes of Sibelebele back. They don't have really much of space to maneuver.
Loving the support in here, vociferous as it is. How about those eyelashes? Is it a thing you got a pair of big brushes like that, Amanda?
That's the aesthetic.
Nodolina looking for somebody to pass to. Didn't quite get anybody's attention. But, the players are about 40 meters away from him, and it's rather rowdy here at MPTauComps Stadium. Grobler not able to control first time. Mbata does, though. Looks up for the run. Dupree might make a little bit more of an enthusiastic run. Hasn't, and that's why Mbata was looking down the left-hand side again. Makgopa has been kept at bay, and they'll get the throw in to Sekhukhune. Nice work done by Letlapa. Now it's an interesting tussle at the moment because it's still mostly defensive from Sekhukhune United, and although Orlando Pirates are applying the pressure, not seeing anything really to test Ronaldo Lina, who's on the seat of his pants at the moment. Meantime, we can have a change for Eric Tinkler, not afraid to make changes early on, and maybe not a bad one. We did see Ellis Ramala limp off with an injury on the edge of the penalty area in a challenge with Evidence Makgopa, so he's not going to take any further part. But I tell you what, Keleta Makhalwa, not a bad player to have as a sub, isn't it?
Not at all, and I thought he would probably be that thumb card for Coach Eric Tinkler in the second half, just to boost the team a little bit, to raise the tempo a little bit, but he has to step in right now and finish the half.
Love his movement, love the balance when he's in possession. One does feel for Ellis Romalo, was brought into the starting lineup today, former Kashik Stars player in the first division, recognised by Sekhukhune United and signed to the Premier League. But Keleta Makhalwa will come on just for the second time as a sub this season, but his 15th appearance, having played 13 times in the starting lineup, and understandably so as well. 29-year-old. Started at TX Galaxy, made a name for himself, went to Upington City in the first division.
And I think been really impressive at Sekhukhune, one of the highly ranked players where goal involvements are concerned this season, with 22 goal involvements. I think is one of the most active players for Sekhukhune.
Now, the amount of assists that he comes up with is incredible. No goals on a Saturday afternoon on the World of Champions, and the match that's not live this afternoon, Robert College Chipper 0-0. Dino van Rooyen suddenly gets himself into a position to provide an attack. Talentum Mbata playing in the pocket. Maswanganyi looking for the run. Gets a touch back from Moremi. Too strong. Mbata to the onrushing Van Rooyen, and all of a sudden we're starting to find Van Rooyen getting into space on that right-hand side. He's being tracked though by mostly Daniel Cardoso, and Vuyo Letlapa, of course, will be in the thick of the matter defensively for Sekhukhune United. Grobler, big challenge from Siema. th appearance of the season, all in the starting lineup for Pirates. This 22-year-old who signed from the Rockets. Waiting for the first touch from Makhalwa, who's popped in the number 7 jersey. In the meantime, nice work done by Tabang Munare. Remember him from Jomo Cosmos back in the day, and then Bidvest Wits and Orlando Pirates. Munare again. Letlapa. Makhalwa, it's a lovely pass as well. Letlapa patiently allows the challenge to come from Sibili. Keeps possession for Sekhukhune United, and suddenly they started to look a little bit more penetrating. Albabina Noko.
They're playing within their structure. They're very patient, allowing Orlando Pirates to get the ball but they're fighting for the second ball. And from those turnovers, they really try to be a threat in front of goal, but they need to get a little bit closer, and they are doing that at these latter stages of the half.
Lovely header from Daniel Cardozo. Unfortunately, didn't find a teammate. And now there's an opportunity for Sean Mokhoila. Really do like the former TX Galaxy and Royal AM player. Fascinating how much media time Royal AM took up when they were in the Premier League. And Mamkhize just seems to be a done deal at the moment. I haven't heard about either one of the two. And I know that at one stage, Mamkhize popped up in Eswatini.
Greener pastures.
Indeed. Wish you well. Van Rooyen clears in front of Makhalwa. It's a foul. Tellington Mbata. In fact, it's not Mbata, it's Bili Bili wearing long sleeves on a very warm day. Masongani, Siema, just going backward at the moment, Orlando Pirates, and although they're over the halfway line with the 58% possession that they have, and they're continuing to build on that, Orlando Pirates, they're still not finding that one telling ball, that one accurate ball. For me, Evidence Makgopa is almost being wasted because there's nobody really picking up him and his runs, and the support for Makgopa not really as it should be. And I am wondering whether Maswangani shouldn't play a little closer to him.
Yeah, I think it all starts in that midfield. The likes of Mbata, Makhaula as well are not really getting much of the ball to spread through and get those passes going. Maswangani has to drop a little bit deeper into that midfield to try and create openings. It has been a frustrating first half for Orlando Pirates, just really trying to find those pockets of spaces. But also kudos to Sekhukhune. They've kept their lines and the distances very close to each other. They're very compact and just not giving them space to maneuver.
Nobody pulling wide on this right-hand side. Lots of space open on the left where it has been a proliferation of ball. Maswangani heads in that direction, as does the captain, Nkosanati Sibisi. And one can only say, goodness me, what happened there? Sekhukhune Ndaba perhaps trying to pass the ball before it reached him. Took his eyes off looking for somebody to pass to, and Paul eluded him completely. In the meantime, Vuyoletlapa. Nice little tap back looking for Grobler. Grobler, was he caught from behind? Sekhukhune United claiming the foul. Referee Eugene Mkluli turns away. Could have changed the complexion of the match. But here's Patrick Maswangani. Tries to go directly. Makgopa can't pick up second ball either. That's really good defending from Brighton Blogu. Maswangani again. His space in the penalty area. The cover is perfect for Sekhukhune United. And Eric Tinkler and his tactics are working to perfection so far.
A missed opportunity for Maswangani, I guess, on the turnover to really try and capitalize. But this very well defended from Makhaula. But Bradley Grobler just thought he could get there first and pinch the ball. But first touch certainly falls on Makhaula.
I thought there was a tap on the ankle from Makhaula on Grobler.
Nah, I don't think so. He got to the ball first.
The Pirates continue to attack. We're just about 5 minutes away from first half stoppage time in Polokwane. Lovely warm day for the patrons to come out and enjoy the return of the Betway Premiership. And don't forget, we have that competition, Sibonisa and Win, for the best dressed home supporter, which will be identified by our roving cameras and selected by Betway, the sponsors of the Premier League. And and then announced, I think, on the hour mark, if I'm not mistaken, 10,000 bucks up for grabs unless you're a card holder, and then it becomes double. I just came for a nice day in the sun.
I mean,
my place is full. The month of January seems to have like 100 days in it, doesn't it?
it does, and you certainly need that cash.
Makhalwa hasn't quite been the influence. I don't think that Sekhukhune and I were looking for him when he came on as a sub. Moremi again with Ndaba making a move towards the penalty area. Space for Idiskitimes. What a beautiful piece of defending by Vuyule Klapa. It needed just a little tickle. It got a tickle from the former Cosmos man. That's beautiful.
Yeah, excellent. The timing as well of the tackle. Don't know if he knew much about Makhupa, just creeping behind him. That awareness, scanning, perfectly timed tackle.
But suddenly there's better box entries. 6 corners now for Orlando Pirates to 0. Pressure again on Ronaldo Lina, but we're starting to find a little bit more consolidation in these box entries now. What can they achieve from this? Oh, great save from Lina. How did he even get near that? Makhopa with an opportunity. Lina just sticks out a mitt, and the ball gets parried away from the danger zone. Unbelievable. They have another opportunity, and again there's evidence that the pressure is mounting on Sekhukhune United.
Certainly the pressure is mounting. Critical phase of the game, the concentration needs to be up there. Sibisi of all people with the tap in. But look at the reflex save from the goalkeeper. Ronaldo spoke how influential he's going to be. Key players for the match. And he certainly has kept things even so far.
Tell you what, the windmill effect. It was all arms and legs from Ronaldo Lina, but the 27-year-old averts the danger. It's busy in the right place, but not with the right touch. Still looking for his first goal for Pirates this season. Talented Bata, again space on the left. Moremi will chase. We hear that 2 minutes are going to be added on to the first half. One has to give a lot of praise to the defence of Sekhukhune United.
Absolutely, especially the right backs or the wing backs in those positions. They've really done the most important thing, and that's certainly to block the pass, to block the cross. 7 corners for Orlando Pirates, and most of them have come from this left side and have been defended.
They're still creating opportunities, and he's happy with what he's seeing. Bata goes over the top this time, and Wadu is applauding the efforts. A little bit more clinical, and I'll tell you what, I think Pirates could be in front by 2-0. Comes back to Mbata, just snatches at it somewhat. It's never easy when you have a teammate on your shoulder, perhaps calling the odds or calling you off. But look at that. I mean, that tells the story, doesn't it? 7 goal attempts to just the 1. Heading towards the final minute of regulation time in the first half at the new Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane City play at the old one just behind us. Here as to a couple of first division sides in this part of the world. Bradley Krobler, the target man, gets away from Tino van Rooyen. Nice first touch as well. Makhalwa's an elusive character, but there's a slip on the far side from Mube, who's taken over more of that right wing position with the introduction of Makhalwa.
Yeah, Makhalwa coming in as well. I think clear instructions from the bench to just really play within the structure. And when they do get that ball possession, he becomes that outlet, plays a little bit inverted behind the striker.
Makhalwa goes past Letlapa. I just love the way that Letlapa gets over the halfway line. Wins the throw in front of Mbata. So 2 minutes added on then to the end of the first half. Round 16 of the Betway Premiership, second half of the season. Letlapa just pings it in towards Bradley Grobler. Grobler with a foot up against Sibisi. Concede a free kick and immediately offers his apology to the captain of the Buccaneers. Referees actually said to the veteran striker, don't go anywhere, which means that there might be some discipline for the man, an early birthday present in a yellow card for his birthday tomorrow. I wonder if they share the same hotel as us. I wonder if there'll be a little celebration for the veteran striker.
You're thinking of gate crashing a party?
Absolutely. What's going through the mind of Abdeslam Wadu? Sipo Chain with a clean sheet. He's kept 4 clean sheets in a row against Richards Bay FC and Marumo Gallants in the Carling knockout. Chippa United and Durban City in the Betway Premiership, and if he goes 5 in a row today, it's a bit of credit to him. But as we said, clean sheets have been no great surprise for Orlando Pirates when you only concede 5 goals in 17 matches in League and Cup. Yeah, that's massive.
It's that defensive discipline, the defensive structure, and also just an exceptional player like Mbugazi. He's very solid. And at AFCON, he was just amazing just to see how much he's grown. Very clinical in certain aspects, not so hard tackling anymore. I think he's really matured in his game. It'll be very interesting to see who actually steps up into the role and really tries to marshal things at the back.
Foul by Brighton Glovo in maybe a final set piece. Already 27 tackles made and 11 fouls over the course of the 47 minutes played by the match referee. Free kick opportunity now for Pirates before half-time. Lina beaten in the air and away by Brighton Glovo. There's a foul committed on the defender as well. Evidence Hopper, the guilty party. That should just be about half-time though. And he came in very late. Did Evidence Makhopa with a knee up right in the midriff of the 25-year-old former Kruger United fullback. Very late from Makhopa. The referee's not going to wait for the free kick to take place by Ronaldo Lina. An interesting first half, Amanda.
Very interesting, frustrating for Orlando Pirates, who really couldn't find the spaces. But job well done to Sekhukhune for this opening half to really remain compact and really try and frustrate Orlando Pirates.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting viewing in the second half to see how Eric Chinkler and Abdeslam Wadu teed up for the second half. Are we going to see a complete change in tactics for Sekhukhune United?